Okay, awesome. Good morning. Good morning. I think we are live in the library. This is a topic I am super excited to talk to you guys about today on Q&A Fridays. Making sure we're all loaded here. Okay, awesome. Okay, you guys, welcome in. All right. We're going to talk today about pregnancy, birth, and doTERRA oils. Okay, so before I jump in, I want to just give you a little reminder that all of this information I'm sharing with you guys is my own personal experience. Okay, so from resources that I've gathered, from literal experience, this is my, some of you might know this, some of you might not, but I am currently pregnant around 37 weeks with my third baby. And my first baby, Macawi, who's now 5, I didn't have my doTERRA oils, but he's the reason why I got into oils as much as I did, right, like shortly after he was born, okay, because I was looking for, I was like, there's got to be another way. There's got to be another way. So Sequoia was my oil baby, right? I'm going to share a bunch of tips and tricks that I used and found very helpful, tools that I found very helpful when I was pregnant with her and during birth with her. And then now with baby number 3, this is like, it's such a gift to have real, safe, natural tools at your fingertips, right? So that's the basic. I just wanted to give you that quick rundown first. A couple of resources I love and I would suggest that you check out if you are yourself personally pregnant or are looking to conceive is The Essential Midwife. Okay, her name is Stephanie Fritz. She has various books. She also has a Facebook group. Her Facebook community is The Essential TEM, so The Essential Midwife, something like that. But if you search it on Facebook, you'll find it. She probably also has an awesome YouTube channel and lots of great educational around on her website as well, okay? So I really encourage you to do your research, right? All of these things that I'm going to share with you are my own personal tools, okay? So let's go through it, okay? Let's start right at the beginning, pre-pregnancy, pretending that people plan their pregnancies, which maybe some of you do. The first, basically pre-pregnancy, I should say, as I go through this, I'm probably going to repeat myself with a bunch of similar oils and similar products. Okay, so one in particular, you're going to hear me talk about probably every trimester and every stage of this is the Lifelong Vitality supplement made by doTERRA. They're basically super, super high quality, bioavailable supplements that are infused with our pure essential oils, okay? So they're incredible. You're looking for a prenatal to kind of prep your body or fill in any nutrition gaps or balance out any irregularities and just help your body come back to homeostasis. You're going to want to try that Lifelong Vitality, okay? Saying that, I was skeptical. Seriously, I was skeptical because everyone seems to have their own special vitamins that are better than everyone else's. But I had been wasting a lot of time and energy buying my supplements from health food stores, and I never found they really did much for me, to be honest. I never knew if I was feeling a little bit different or what was going on. So I actually didn't start the Lifelong Vitality until I was already pregnant with Sequoia, okay? Since I had had a very regular pregnancy, other than Macawi being born breech, I had no problem starting something new. That was just my own internal instinct, okay? It's not for everyone though. So I get a lot of questions, is it safe to ingest my oils when I'm already pregnant? Is it safe to start the vitamins when I'm already pregnant? And you guys probably know it's not really recommended to start something new when you're already pregnant, okay? But talk to your healthcare provider, follow your instinct. And for me, it felt right because I was literally felt like I was dying. Like I was a postpartum mom. Macawi was just over a year when I got pregnant with my second baby, and I was going through a bunch of emotional stuff, and was essentially a single mom with zero energy just really struggling mentally, struggling with mind fog, digestion, sleep, you know, all the things were just off. So I was like, this has got to help me. And so I tried them, and you guys, like, I don't even want to, I want you, if you're watching this, maybe you have tried the Lifelong Vitality supplements, let me know in the comments. Tell me your stories, because these are incredible, an incredible gift, to be honest. And so I take them, I've taken them ever since. It's Sequoia's, like, it's going to be 4 in April now. And I've been taking them ever since, every single day, and they're my lifeline. Okay, so how does this relate to pregnancy? Is because, in my opinion, they are an incredible prenatal. Okay, saying that, work with your healthcare provider. You know, everybody's different. You might need to supplement with more iron. Personally, I don't, and they work incredible. They're incredible support for me and my body. Okay, so pre-pregnancy, Lifelong Vitality. Okay, you're starting to prepare your body. You have your PB Assist, your probiotics, you have your TerraZyme, the digestive enzyme that helps our bodies to break down food that we ingest so we can actually absorb the nutrients. Build a solid routine for yourself, okay? Get yourself, you know, a good water bottle, and start, if you are feeling comfortable pre-pregnancy, start drinking your citrus oils to help flush your body and rid your body of any built up toxins, help your lymphatic system to circulate and things like that. Okay, so start developing a routine. Another thing, in my opinion, that's huge is mindset. Mindset really matters. Get yourself in a good state of mind, a good state of health, if you can, right? That's really important as well. So just pulling up my notes again. So that's pre-pregnancy, okay? So we're leading up to kind of like we're building this strong foundation of wellness so that we can come into pregnancy. And then, you know, those of you that are struggling with fertility and getting pregnant, I always think of Gabby Bernstein, who used to try to control the universe of, like, you know, I'm going to plan out the next 9 months, I'm going to get pregnant here, and I'm going to have baby here, and I'm going to do this and this and this. So often we try to control what's out of our control, but deeply, truly trusting that your body is capable of doing this and giving it the tools it needs to do so. Okay, that's, in my opinion, it's really important. There's a lot of good information from Stephanie Fritz about fertility and different oils that can help support that. I strongly, hands down, would suggest try the Lifelong Vitality, get your nutrition in check, and up your water intake, check your mindset, surround yourself with positivity, and know that your body is capable of this. Okay, let's move into early pregnancy. Okay, so maybe, so you conceive, maybe you're feeling a little nauseous. These are some oils for nausea. You might want to get a notebook out, because I'm going to be writing down, I'm going to be laying out quite a few different oils here. Okay, so maybe you're feeling a little nauseous. Cardamom is an oil that works really well. It's weird. This must be a good reflex, but putting it on your ears or behind your ears, I just do like a little dab of the pure oil. And remember, those of you that are in this, if you guys know that we're only talking about doTERRA oils, right? There's no, in my opinion, there's no substitution for doTERRA oils, okay? So please do not take this information and use a lesser grade of oils, because I'm not gonna guarantee that they're gonna work or that they're safe, okay? So cardamom, what I would do that doesn't really work as an example is just put a little dab on my fingers and put it right here. And I actually love the smell of it, so win-win. But cardamom's a good one. Obviously ginger, right? Ginger in like water, or you can make yourself a mug of tea, like a hot water mug, with or without a herbal tea bag. You can put a drop of ginger oil in there. And remember, the benefit of using the oils over the actual plant. So say, like, you know, why wouldn't I just cut up ginger? You totally can do that, okay? It's super simple to use 1 drop of the oil, and also it's super, super potent. Remember that these oils are 50 to 70 times more powerful than the herb or the plant alone, okay? So a really nice nausea tea is the mug of hot water, a little bit of, you know, local honey if you can get it, a drop of ginger, and a couple drops of lemon. Okay, stir that around, and it's so nice. But that's a good option. Of course, you can use fresh ginger and fresh lemon. The lemon oil comes from the rind of the fruit, so it's not acidic. Okay, that's important because hot lemon water, which a lot of you, I don't know how many people in this group maybe, but I see a lot of like healthy people that feel like drinking hot lemon water with lemon juice in the morning is a good idea, but that is just potentially breaking down the enamel in your teeth pretty badly. Okay, so another one obviously is peppermint. I have a little peppermint roller actually. I've just upcycled a 15 ml bottle, and you know, just use your judgment. You guys probably know the dilution ratios, but for pregnancy, especially early pregnancy, you might be feeling pretty nauseous when you smell your oils even. That was how it was for me. So especially certain oils actually, but so maybe you diluted a lot more. And so with the peppermint, maybe you put it behind your ears or on your nose, or maybe just a drop under your tongue, or take a peppermint soft gel or a beadlet, you know, those tiny little beadlets, okay? And of course, Zengest. Saying that, it is a strong oil, right? And you might be feeling too nauseous for that. So that's why I kind of suggested ginger and cardamom first. Is it safe to use these oils internally when you're pregnant? In my opinion, the answer is yes. Ask Stephanie first, she'll tell you yes. As long as your body is prepared to do so, okay? So saying that, like I mentioned, I didn't start taking the LLV until I was already pregnant, but I had no history of any complications, okay? So if you're someone who has had multiple pregnancies and maybe you've had some complications in the past, maybe talk with your healthcare provider and maybe just use your oils topically and aromatically for now, okay? Just listening to your gut too, sit with that and how does it feel, right? Remember that a lot of the alternatives that we tend to turn to or tend to be recommended from health professionals are a lot more full of junk, right? To be honest, like, what's the alternative for acid reflux? Like, if you go to the pharmacy, what's the alternative for acid reflux? Some stuff, right? So I prefer to kind of weigh out the odds and think, okay, you know, a peppermint essential oil in a tiny, tiny amount versus all this junk that's in the other thing. Okay, that's just my own stuff. Okay, so moving away from digestion. So let me just clarify that. Yes, your oils are safe to ingest during pregnancy as long as they're ingestible. You know, do your research and ask your wellness advocate. You can comment below on this if you really don't know. Not all of doTERRA's oils are ingestible, but a good majority of them are, okay? So if I had nausea, I put cardamom behind, and depending, like early pregnancy for me, I can't even smell Zengest really, so that's not even a question. But the peppermint beadlets are amazing. I actually went on a boat ride when I was really nauseously early-ish pregnant, and I was very sick on the boat. It's not a good idea to do anything like that. So I was using the peppermint beadlets though, so they kind of help. Anyway, discomfort or pain in the beginning. Maybe you have some discomfort, maybe you have some pain, or even what about anxiety or overwhelm? For me, that's what happens, and that's one of my signs like that I am pregnant, is like I'm all of a sudden very irritable, or I'm very anxious or overwhelmed very easily. So think about copaiba. Copaiba is one that you're going to want to get, okay? Copaiba is your oil for your supporting your nervous system, so any like, you know, overwhelm, mood swings, but it's also incredible for any pain in the body. Okay, so it's a great support for any pain because it actually has similar receptors, or sorry, it triggers similar receptors as CBD oil does. Okay, so without anything else. Okay, it's triggering the CB2 receptors found all over the body. It's really cool. So another one, copaiba, you're going to need it for everything. Okay, I'm going to talk about it a lot, especially when baby comes. Other ones for anxiety or overwhelm, great supports are balance oil and adaptive. Okay, both topically. Wild orange is like your liquid happiness in a bottle. It's actually right here. I love it. Okay, this is so nice, you guys. And so in my opinion, keep your diffuser on always, even if you think you're okay. Even if you think you're okay. That's kind of the premise with our oils too, is being proactive. So setting the tone of the day, setting that intention, choosing how you want to feel, right? Put your diffuser on all the time. Okay, moving on from early pregnancy. Again, if you have any questions as we're going through this, depending on where you're watching this, drop them in the comments or reach out to me directly. So that's a little bit about early pregnancy. I know there's probably more things that I could touch on. Second trimester is very similar to first trimester. Maybe you have less nausea, hopefully, which is awesome. Stay consistent with your routine. Okay, so that's something that hopefully you can develop pre-pregnancy with the lifelong vitality. You know, habit stacking is really, really powerful as far as like putting your lifelong vitality. Get them out of the bottles. I really despise the bottles because I forget to take them, or it takes me too long to open them up and put them in my hand. I don't know, maybe some of you like that in like a routine or a ritual, but I put them into like an empty, it's like an old bead container, I'm pretty sure, like from Michael's. It's got like little compartments. Anyway, I empty them all out into there. Sequoia helps me. And then every time when I wake up in the morning, I fill up my water bottle. At the moment, I'm not drinking citrus in my water. I found out I have a citrus intolerance during this pregnancy, which is interesting. Not just the oil, it's actually like all citrus juice, which is interesting, extra interesting in Costa Rica. But anyway, fill up my water bottle. Okay, and then I open the fridge and my vitamins are right there. So that's like kind of like habit number one, my water intake. I love drinking water. And then my vitamins are right there. I take my vitamins and maybe I'll eat a banana or I'll eat a piece of fruit. That's kind of my routine. So another habit stacking would be when you fill up your water, you have your citrus oils maybe on the fridge. You see those like magnet things? I think you can get them on Amazon. They're pretty cute. Or above your sink, if you fill up your water with your tap, you have your citrus oils there. So right away, you see that trigger. Okay, so I mean, pregnancy or not, we want to create those habits and habit stacks anyway to create this solid, consistent routine. Okay, maybe second trimester, you're starting to get a little bit more achy. Again, the copaiba. If you are into, having your feet massaged, which who doesn't, Aroma Touch is an incredible circulation blend. Okay, it has cypress in there, which is the oil of movement and flow. Having a foot massage with Aroma Touch and really like helping that circulation go back up to the heart, Another thing that I love to do is dry brushing for circulation. So it's basically, I should have grabbed mine from the bathroom, but it's like a big dry brush. Okay, Google it. You can find them on Amazon. Most health food shops have them. It's like a soft bristle dry brush. Don't get it wet. And you start at your feet, but you can add the oils on there. So you can add your Aroma Touch, or you can add your frankincense for healthy cells. You can add your metabolic blend to help support the body's skin, like your skin elasticity, okay? Dry brushing from your feet to your kidneys in like long, even strokes. Always, in my opinion, you go towards your kidneys because you'll hear a lot of people mention to dry brush towards your heart. But in my opinion, we're moving the lymph. We're helping the lymphatic system, which does not have a pump. We're helping the lymphatic system, which is our detox, one of our detox systems in the body, to move waste out of our body. And the filtration system is the kidneys. Okay, so in my opinion, brush towards the kidneys, but maybe some people will tell you the heart, okay? Anyway, dry brushing is a great way to move circulation around. And like I mentioned, that foot massage, Aroma Touch is incredible, okay? Again, second trimester, I'm sure there's a lot that I could share on the second trimester. Let's move into the third, which also these things could definitely happen in first and second too. Things like constipation, heartburn, indigestion, acid reflux. Those weird things. For me, it tends to happen around the third trimester where you're laying in bed in the middle of the night and all of a sudden you have acid reflux. Why? Okay, so those things, you guys, I can't live without Zengest. in my cabinet, in my toolbox, because especially because of this heartburn, indigestion, or acid reflux or constipation. Okay, so your answer for anything digestion, your support system is Zengest. It's also called Digestin. If you're in the US or other countries that call it Digestin, it's basically a digestive blend. It's jam-packed full of incredible digestive herbs. Okay, so what I do with this is I literally just take the lid off and put a drop right under my tongue when I need it. Okay, yeah, it's kind of like, it tastes like licorice-y, kind of like Sambuca-ish. Okay, you can take it like that. You can take it in a little shot of water. You can take it in a soft gel or a veggie capsule if you want to make your own. You know, you can buy empty veggie capsules from doTERRA and make your own medicine, which is awesome. Take the lid off, put a couple drops in, put the lid back on, and take it like that. Okay. You can, some people I know like to drink it in their water bottle and enjoy a whole water bottle full of it. That's not my favorite thing to do, but that's something that you can do, right? So if Zengest is not for you, other options to support things like heartburn, indigestion, constipation, digestion, and overall is your peppermint, right? Peppermint or ginger. Again, I'm going to mention that tea. To have that ginger tea is a really good thing. Sometimes I even like to have a chamomile tea bag in there and then add in your oils as well. So many different options. That's like, let me just think of, and of course, like obviously anxiety, overwhelm, all of these, irritability, these are all things that are still happening, could potentially be happening throughout pregnancy. So again, leaning on your copaiba, leaning on your diffuser on all the time with uplifting citrus oils, utilizing some roller blends potentially, right? You can use your oils topically. Just be mindful of the sun-sensitive citrus oils, which are all citrus oils. If you live in Costa Rica like I do, or somewhere else where it's summertime, do not use your citrus oils topically where the sun is going to shine directly for like 12 hours, okay? But maybe you create a roller blend for yourself with your favorite oils, and you set an intention when you're creating the roller so that it brings you back to a certain space. It's really cool how we can work with our limbic brain, our emotional brain, and really help to, or really start to create kind of like anchor blends, if you will, okay? So when you smell that, after you've intentionally created this blend to bring you back to a certain feeling or a certain place, you know, I am strong, I am grounded, my body knows what it's doing, da 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 da. When you apply, you give it a smell and you are like instantly transported back to that place or that feeling. It's pretty cool. So that's especially cool as we move into birth here, is you can make yourself a little extra blend, or choosing mindfully what you're going to put in the diffuser for birth, okay? So if you have any questions up to now, definitely comment below or message me if you would like me to try to answer them or find answers for you. Let's move into birth, okay? Birth is, there's a lot that birth and the 4th trimester, there's a lot of suggestions I have for you. One of them in particular, like I mentioned already, diffuser and our sense of smell is huge in that space, okay? In my opinion, okay? So for Sequoia, I diffuse Balance and Wild Orange, because Balance is an earthy tree grounding blend. Wild Orange is nice and uplifting and energizing. This is a really nice, awesome blend. And those of you that choose, or maybe not choose, that birth in a hospital, just communicate that information. This is what I want to see happen. Is that a possibility here? You never know, right? When I was giving birth to Sequoia, I chose to have a hospital birth. It was like a 3-minute walk from my house. And it was the middle of the night and I had my diffuser on, my oils all around, my mom putting deep blue on my back. So it's a possibility, even if you are in a hospital setting, to use your oils in there for sure. Just ask, okay? And sometimes maybe it's better just to put it on. Okay, so diffuser's on, you're in that state of mind, and maybe even leading up to the birth, you have that diffuser blend going while you are if you are into hypnobirthing or into just whatever kind of birthing preparation you are doing, if you are doing any, even if it's like, you know, my body knows how to give birth, all I need to do is get out of its own way, get out of my own way, right? But anchoring in those aromatics is, in my opinion, a very powerful way to move into that birth space and have even more power, right? It's like, I don't know if that makes sense for you guys, but that's what I mean. Okay, another one to potentially have in the diffuser is adaptive. Adaptive is like the emotional support blend. I love it. You guys have probably heard me talk about adaptive a ton. It's an incredible, incredible blend. So that's what I'm planning to have in the diffuser for this upcoming birth, adaptive, and probably add a little bit more wild orange in there. If you were in a hospital, the time of this recording, middle of January 2021, I'd probably have a lot of on guard going on in my diffuser. It's really warming, but it has some incredible, incredible properties that support a healthy immune system. Okay, frankincense is another one. It's very grounding. Other than that, so you have your diffuser on. Something that you're going to want to prepare before birth, which some of you might have heard this, is called padsicles, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is a frozen pad in the freezer. There's a couple different recipes for this. If you Pinterest it, like go on Pinterest and search padsicles, you'll find a ton. My favorite recipe, I guess, you can use reusable pads. I use reusable pads always whenever I need, right? But for this specific after birth period, it's just my own personal experience is to have like, what do you call those, disposables for like the first week, because it's hard to keep up with laundry as it is. Don't put more hard things on yourself, more pressure on yourself. So just that week, create some padsicles, hopefully before the baby comes, so you have them all prepared. Basically what you do is you lay out, like you literally buy like nighttime pads, disposable pads from the grocery store. You open them all up, take off all the sticker things, like open them up actually, and then you put aloe. If you can get fresh aloe, it's amazing. So aloe, if it's chunky, you can blend it with your oils and then put it on the aloe. Some people use witch hazel as well, alcohol-free witch hazel. And then some oils that I would recommend are lavender, frankincense, and helichrysum. Okay, if you don't have one of these, don't stress about it. If you just have lavender, fantastic, okay? Lavender and aloe or witch hazel, whatever you have, okay? And then you're going to put it on the pad, and it's kind of like you can spritz it on, or you can, whatever you need to do to get it on there, okay? I like to do it quite thick, and then you put the things back on, the sticker savers, and you fold it all back up, put it in its little package, and then maybe put it in like a plastic bag or some sort of bag to keep it in your freezer. So make like a week's worth of them, quite a few of them. They're super easy to make, but I can probably guarantee that you're not going to want to make them when you have a newborn baby. So I would make a week's worth of them. It's always a good idea to alternate between warm and cold when healing if you have a vaginal birth. So maybe you do, padsicles when you need, but then the next one you do like just a regular good old pad, and then a cold one again, and whatever. So alternating. You can also make yourself, a peri spray. This is a really good idea. So some sort of a spray bottle or spritz bottle, having in there, even just what I like to do with Sequoia's birth is I fill it up every time with warm water. That was just my own personal preference because it was, April in Canada. It was kind of cold. So filling it up each time or whatever you want to do. There's different recipes on Pinterest, but one of my favorites is basically just using what I did with the padsicles. With the aloe, if you can blend it, and I put a little bit of coconut oil in there too. If you live in a cold country, maybe use fractionated coconut oil, and then just shake it up every time and spritz after you go to the bathroom. And it really just helps to support that healing process in that area, okay? they're awesome. Okay, I've got a few more suggestions here. So during birth, and I guess I should have mentioned this in the third trimester, there's a couple oils if your baby is not in the ideal position. Okay, so I also believe that babies are, they're in the position they want to be in, but we can always encourage them to kind of shift to be a little bit more ideal positioning for them and for us. Okay, so posterior is when the baby's back, their spine is along your spine, and essentially what they're doing is they're facing forward, which is a very uncomfortable way to birth. We have a posterior baby, you can actually use an oil called black pepper. There's, I think, a couple other suggestions around the essential midwives community, but black pepper, and basically you're doing like a little bit of a rainbow motion on your belly. Black pepper could help to move your baby to have the spine in the front, okay? So another thing that I personally found helpful is leaning over like a table or leaning over a bed and having your back kind of flat so that your baby's down here, okay? So gravity lifts the baby from a posterior position. If you have a breech baby, I actually, I know there's a lot of resources out there on like, spinning babies and things like that. But I actually had a little meeting with my midwife yesterday, and she mentioned how peppermint, in her personal experience as a midwife, she saw peppermint work incredibly. So, I mean, when I was giving birth to Macawi 5+ years ago, he's going to be 6 in May, he was breech, and I didn't know. I had a feeling he was, because I really felt a head up high, but my midwife at the time was like, oh, we don't have time for an ultrasound, we'll just go on as it is, and whatever, right? It was what it was. But if I would have known, and I was at the time asking my friends and my people I knew, my support network, does anyone know about essential oils? Like, essential oils, there's got to be another way. And no one knew anything. So I went into that birth with a breech baby. Okay, so interesting times. But if I had known these tools existed, I would have used them, right? And that's kind of why I'm so passionate about sharing these oils in, pregnancy or not pregnancy. These are a big deal, and people are looking for these everywhere. Okay. So anyway, turning a breech baby, putting peppermint along the top, just under your chest, along the top, because peppermint's really intense. You guys know that, right? Pretty much nothing like peppermint except for adults that like the tingling feeling. Like ants, bugs, pests, nothing like peppermint. So if you put it on your below your chest, and kind of just encourage a little bit of turning motion, that could potentially assist your baby in turning. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's keep on moving on. This has been a little bit longer than I wanted. I got a couple more things to cover here. So during birth, deep glue, copaiba, amazing, right? You can make a roller blend. That's what I suggest. I found the rub too intense during labor. It's because you guys know the deep glue rub lotion stuff is just incredible, but during labor, it's too much. So the deep glue and copaiba I made in a roller, and say in your roller, I had 10 drops of each. Try that. If you need to add 5 more drops of each, totally do that, okay? Fill it with your fractionated coconut oil. And for Sequoia's birth, I had my mom, putting it on my back. Luckily, I didn't have back labor or a posterior baby. With Sequoia's birth, with Macawi, definitely did. He was posterior and breech. So that was a different story. But having this roller on and just having someone massaging and compressing putting a little bit of pressure on your low back and pelvis is a really supportive thing to do for sure. Okay. Another oil I'm going to talk about is clary sage. Okay, I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but I'm going to put it in the notes in this video. Clary sage is an oil that you want to avoid during pregnancy until you're getting near or closer to giving birth, okay? There's a ton of studies out there that say clary sage will not put your body into labor. It will not encourage labor, okay? If your body's not ready for labor, it's not gonna go into labor by using clary sage, okay? But as you get later on in pregnancy, maybe around the 37-week stage, You might not want to be using clary sage if you want to have a full-term baby, okay? There is a possibility that it can strengthen contractions and regulate, or is that the word, regulate? Make them more regular when you are in labor. So this is a really good tool to have in your birth kit, okay? So again, if I had to kind of reiterate this whole thing up to now, the one oil to avoid during pregnancy is clary sage and any blends with clary sage in it. So that means the clary calm blend, okay? So avoid clary sage. Again, I'll put it in the notes here just so we're clear. All the other oils are safe to use during pregnancy and during birth. Okay, just remember that your body might be a little bit more sensitive and you need to dilute a little bit more. Okay. What else? Okay, let's move into the 4th trimester. So baby's born, a new rhythm is being created. Diffuser's on all the time. You guys have your diffuser on all the time. I can't even stress this enough because we, even if you think you're okay, even if you're feeling okay, put the diffuser on, be preventative, and uplifting oils, think citrus oils, okay? Citrus, happy oils, grounding oils. The baby just came from a very wet environment and it's come into our world that is drier than dry in most places, okay? So I always suggest the diffuser's on, but very mild, okay? It doesn't need to have your normal 4 to 6 drops. It can have 2, okay? If you're co-sleeping, have a diffuser in your room and just have the door open a crack, or have a window open a crack, or whatever it is, right? If baby has their own room, same thing. Just keep the door open, keep it ventilated, and only put 1 to 2 drops of your oil in there, okay? So diffuser's on always. Let's talk about after pains. That's what your body is trying to, is contracting your uterus back to its original size. After pains with your second, and I'm about to give birth to my 3rd, but with the 2nd, we're a lot more intense than the 1st, okay? So after pain support, a really good one is your copaiba. Take it under your tongue, like I mentioned, right? Copaiba is an incredible oil. Frankincense, you can take it under your tongue. It's a natural anti-inflammatory. Siberian fir, using that topically on your belly with some coconut oil is really going to support those surges and those contractions as well, okay? You can also use your frank and copaiba topically as well. So another one, clary calm. Now we're in the 4th trimester. Clary calm is totally safe and so useful. If you don't know what clary calm is, it's basically the woman's blend made for any stage of hormones, any stage of being a woman, whether you are like a hormonal teenager to someone going through menopause, right? It's incredible support. So it just helps the body. Remember that the oils are just supporting the body's natural systems, right? The clary calm helps the body's natural systems come back to balance, so natural hormones, find that homeostasis. Okay, after giving birth, our bodies tend to naturally detox, okay? This is stinky times, I call it. So sometimes it's really crazy stinky and nothing helps. With Sequoia, that was my case anyway. I don't use chemical deodorant and I refuse to use, fragrant stuff. So what I found that really works is utilizing doTERRA's mud mask on your armpits. So good, so good. Leave it on there for 10 to 15. Use it on your face if you find that you're having like hormonal breakouts or whatever it is. You should just use it on your face anyway. The mud mask is so nice. So it's a detoxing mud mask with some incredible oils in there. When you wash that off, I actually had created, because I couldn't find a deodorant, a natural deodorant that would help me. I don't like, at that time, that smell was not something I could deal with. Okay, so some of you might be like, oh, I'm fine with my own smell, but that like detoxing smell, I'm not okay with. Excuse me. And I mean, at the time I was a single mom. Like I'm just home with a newborn baby and a tiny little toddler. They're the only ones that are going to smell me, but it was me that it was bugging. So anyway, I made my own deodorant. So all it is basically arrowroot powder, baking soda, and coconut oil. And then you add in your oils from there. The one oil that I found would help me is Purify, you guys. Purify, if anything is stinky, Purify. some people say, oh, tea tree works so well. Tea tree works great, but not in this case, in my experience. Okay, Purify is like the top of the line stinky oil, okay, for things that are stinky. So I put Purify oil in there, and that's what worked. It was so good. But over time, your body regulates, right? It's just like now, if you're someone who feels like you have to use chemical deodorant, the chances are it has something to do with your diet, right? Because when we can expel, we're expelling and detoxing what we're ingesting essentially, or what we are surrounding ourselves with. So it's those toxins exiting our body. And if we can clean up our diet and up our water intake, we can definitely minimize that stinkiness, okay? So we got stinky times, and then I got a couple more points here. Another one is milk production. I know there's a ton of information in this video, you guys. I hope you're taking a lot of notes. But there's just so much information, okay? So milk production. I have an incredible blend that helps your body's natural functions to support or produce more milk, okay? So basically what it is fennel, clary sage, and geranium. So those are 3 oils that you could use. Another one to add in there is basil. So making a blend, maybe you make a roller blend. Maybe you have 5 drops fennel, 5 clary sage, and 5 geranium. Trying it out. Like, everyone's body is different. Most of you in this group have probably received a sample from one of us saying, you know, if this doesn't work, we have other options, because everyone's body is different. Your body might not respond in the same way as mine. So this is just what worked for me, okay? So you might have to play around with maybe adding in the basil, right? Or maybe not. So diluting it and then utilizing it right after baby nurses, just around the breast, and then massaging it in, just avoid the nipple area. And after baby nurses, ideally, so that the baby doesn't have the direct contact, because it does have some you know, it does have the oils that they're totally safe for the baby, but after nursing is probably the best time to do it. And then it's totally fine when baby is nursing again, okay? So utilizing that as much as you need. Maybe you do like just a couple times a day, or maybe you do 3 times a day, just utilizing that blend, massaging it in, okay? I have a funny little story quick here. I'm gonna take a drink. Where I was postpartum about a year with Macawi. Must have been just under a year. Maybe it was around like 8 months. And I loved the smell of clary sage, geranium, and fennel together. I think that was a blend. Maybe there was basil in there, I can't remember. But I made myself a body butter. Okay, it's so nice. There's great recipes out there, you guys. I'm pretty sure there's some in the units in this group, but it's like a whipped body butter. It's luxurious. But I added all those oils in. One day I thought it was a great idea to go have a shower and then put this body butter all over my body. And within like 20 minutes, I started to produce so much milk that I was so painfully engorged, like so full of milk, that Macawi couldn't even keep up with nursing. And because of my stress that I was under in my home situation, I developed a plugged milk duct, okay? If you've ever had that happen, it's very painful. And then it turned into mild, I say mild, but mastitis, which is an infection when it's a plugged milk duct. So that was interesting. So these oils, that was one of my first experiences, because remember, I had just got my oils. So I didn't, you know, maybe some of you have experimented with your oils and had a little bit of an experience like this, where you're like, wow, these oils are not messing around. So that was funny. I don't think I used that blend again for a while, but I was like, holy cow, so that works, okay? So in that experience, if someone does develop a plugged milk duct, a good oil to use is cypress. Another one to use is lavender. Okay, cypress is, like I mentioned before, the oil of movement and flow. It's really good for circulation. So what you're gonna do is massage it and hand express. Maybe you go in the hot shower, warm shower, bend over so that gravity is working with you. Cypress is a really nice one, and lavender, okay? Along with your flu bomb. You guys know what a flu bomb is. So frankincense, lemon, on guard, and oregano. If you want to, you can add your tea tree in there. 1 drop of each of these, I'm going to say 1 to 2 drops, into a veggie capsule, close your lid, and then take it every 3 to 4 hours with some food like an antibiotic. These oils together work so well to support your body's natural immune system. Okay, so that really helped my body to fight off the infection that was there. Okay, so I've had a mastitis, or like at least a plugged milk duct, like 4 times. The first time was before this time that I just told you about, and I didn't have my oils. It was mainly stress related, and it was horrible. I was in bed for 4 days as a single mom. It's not possible, right? My poor little child. I had to get my mom to come to travel to where I lived. The second time was that time I told you about, and I did have my oils, but I didn't really know how to use them. So I hope this information is helpful to you guys. And then the second 2 times, or the last 2 times, I felt it coming on, again, stress related mainly, and used my flu bomb and caught it, okay? So really good tools. You guys have, most of you probably have most of the oils I'm talking about. These are incredible tools to have on hand, okay? It's so necessary. What would I have done? I would have had to maybe take antibiotics, which antibiotics, not only are they expensive, way more expensive than the oils, but they are also super detrimental to my gut health and my overall flora in my body, okay? Anyway, what else? Milk production. Okay, any of the florals are going to be great for hormone support. Neroli, jasmine. I mentioned clary sage 48 times now. Magnolia, especially if you find you are overwhelmed or carry like anger. Magnolia is a really good roller for that. I love magnolia. Okay, I'm going to mention a couple things for, there's one more thing I wanted to say about milk production. Peppermint. Peppermint is an oil that could possibly reduce milk supply. Okay, so if you're somebody who doesn't want to reduce milk supply or is maybe struggling with producing milk, I would highly suggest you check out that blend, the geranium, fennel, and clary sage. Oh my gosh. But I would avoid using your peppermint too much, okay? So in the diffuser should be totally fine. Just topically, maybe limit your use topically and internally, okay? So just keeping that in mind. If you struggle with milk supply, maybe stay away from peppermint. Not like that for everyone, but it could be, okay? Saying that, maybe you are a weaning baby, or maybe, for certain reasons, or maybe you're producing too much milk. Take a drop of peppermint under your tongue. See what happens, right? It's not going to dry up your milk like that. The oils don't drive a response. They work with the body's natural functions to find homeostasis. Okay, so it hopefully could help to bring some regularity and balance to that. In the beginning of nursing, like sometimes you just have so much milk before your body self-regulates, right? So the peppermint could be a support system for that. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple tips for when baby's born. And then I'm going to, yes, Bev says, I would have loved this info when I was having my babies. I know, I hope this is helping you guys. I mean, when I was pregnant with Macaulay, I was searching everywhere for this information, and now I just want to shout it from the rooftops. Okay, so new baby, something I love to use whether you burn the cord, cut the cord, or whatever, your baby's cord, to help the cord to heal and to seal, myrrh. Myrrh is like a Band-Aid oil. It's also known as the mother oil. Myrrh is an incredible oil that has incredible antifungal properties, but it's a great Band-Aid. So weird. Those of you that have myrrh, you might find that your lid is really hard to take off, okay? So it's kind of like a liquid Band-Aid. So I just put a little dab on the cord to help it to seal. Maybe you use a Q-tip or a clean hand. Frankincense is another one to ground. I have some friends who have used frankincense, just a little dab on the baby's head, within whatever, it could be minutes after birth or an hour after birth, a little dab on the top of the head, not a whole drop, just a little dab, and maybe on the bottoms of the feet, just kind of like what's that called? Like a welcoming, like grounding kind of ritual. It's kind of nice. Frankincense is very gentle, it's very grounding, earthy oil. And of course, lots of you guys have probably heard of frankincense from biblical times, okay? Newborn babies, like I mentioned before, diffuser, in my opinion, is a really good idea. Stephanie Fritz, midwife for many, many years and has worked with doTERRA for over 10 years, also suggests diffusers are a good idea for babies. Just use a smaller amount of oil, okay? So again, maybe you have 2 drops in your diffuser, keep it well ventilated, kind of like if you have animals, right? You can have diffuser on your cat and dog, just keep the area ventilated, okay? For new baby, this is a big one, and again, I can't recommend this oil enough. Zengest. Zengest or Digestin is the digestive herb oil, remember? What you're going to do is you're either going to make your baby a roller, or you're going to get the touch roller. Just want to touch, yeah, here it is, Zengest Touch actually. This is straight from doTERRA. If you find making rollers too overwhelming, that's okay. You can buy the touch rollers, or you can buy the kids collection from doTERRA. Okay, those are great options. I'm just trying to see. The Zengest roller is my favorite to use for digestion, but there's also a tamer roller, which is from the kids collection, that has some milder oils in the blend, and it's meant to support digestive discomfort, okay? So babies that struggle with anything to do with digestion, colic, discomfort overall, this is such a game changer. And what I do is at every diaper change, I just roll a little circle around their belly. You know, if their belly button's not quite healed yet, just avoid the belly button area and just gentle clockwise motion massage. Okay, this is going to change everything. If your baby's super small, be super gentle when you're doing little like scissor legs. As your baby grows, Google this. I think it's like around 3 months, you can start doing like side to side and a little bit more, not rigorous, but I mean a little bit more power scissor legs, but keep continually using your Zengest. Be preventative, because their digestive system is just, it's still developing. It's still learning how to process and eliminate and do all the things, right? And so I found that very helpful when Sequoia was just born to use the Zengest roller. I would suggest using the tamer roller. I didn't have that back then because they didn't have it back then, but utilizing that at every diaper change, okay? And so another thing to do at diaper changes is to create your own diaper spray, okay? Again, being preventative to just nourish the baby's little bum, okay? I also used to make my own baby wipes, okay? I have a YouTube channel. I can actually drop it in the comments here. I can find the video. But it's basically you cut a paper towel roll, a high quality paper towel. If you use the green stuff, it's gonna decompose in the thing. Cut the paper towel down the middle, and you have your old coconut oil container, and you basically use a little bit of distilled water, fractionated coconut oil, lavender oil, maybe frankincense or geranium. Lavender is a big one for me, and a little bit of tea tree. And you put them in there. I'll put the link in the comments here over in the library. And then you stuff the paper towel in there with the cardboard thing in it. And then it soaks up all the water, and you can pull out the cardboard and you pull out the wipes from the inside. Amazing, you guys. They're so good, so nourishing, and just preventative to help to prevent any discomfort the baby might have to deal with, okay? So that's awesome. In my diaper spray, I made it in like a spray bottle like this kind of thing, okay? So what I would do is, I gotta remember what's in it. I think it's basically like distilled water, because you want it to last a little bit longer, right? Distilled water, fractionated coconut oil, and then just your oils. Like, again, the same ones that are in the wipes, potentially lavender, a little bit of tea tree. And again, numbers for a size like this, maybe I would do like 5 drops lavender, 2 drops tea tree, and then just shake it every time. Mostly coconut oil. I would probably do like 3/4 coconut oil and a 1/4 distilled water. Shake it every time and just give them a little spritz. It's awesome after they're all clean, right? So those tools alone are so useful. Get the fragrance out. We don't need to be using fragrance on our baby's bums. This is also safe for cloth diapering. You might just have to strip your diapers a little bit more regularly because of the oil, okay? So just keep that in mind. What else? Oils on mom all the time. When you're nursing, maybe you have a diffuser jewelry necklace or something, you put a drop of wild orange on there, or a drop of adaptive or balance. Keep oils on you for your emotional support and mental health, but also your baby is directly reaping the benefits, the aromatic benefits as well, okay? So baby wearing obviously is something that is not generally oil related, but this is really going to help reduce the overwhelm, and I can't stress, like, baby wearing is incredible. It's such a good support tool for you and baby. And then this is the last thing I want to mention is as baby begins to start teething, Sequoia got her first tooth at Macaulay got his first tooth at 4 months, and Sequoia was even before that. So teething happens early. You need that copaiba. Copaiba, what you do is you take the lid off and you put a little drop like this, tiny amount on your finger, and rub it right on their gums, okay? Super small amount, you guys, onto their gums, and just massage it in, let them chew on your finger. It's incredible, okay? Another blend, a teething blend, write this down: frankincense, copaiba, Roman chamomile, or frankincense, copaiba, Siberian fir, or frankincense, copaiba, and lavender. Okay, make the teething roller. Maybe you have a total of 5 drops. Okay, so whatever, 2, 2, and 1. I'd probably do like 2 copaiba, 2 frankincense, and 1 Siberian fir, and see how it works. Maybe you have to add another drop of Siberian fir, not a big deal. And then what you're gonna do, I'm not gonna put Zen Jess on my face, is just roll it along their jaw, behind the ear, and massage it in for them. Massage it down the neck, okay? You'll be surprised. A lot of babies I've seen that you use this teething roller a few times with them, they actually go like this when they know it's time to get their teething roller, because it's incredible support, you guys, and it works. So another thing you can do with your roller, if you're not comfortable giving them pure copaiba, which is totally fine, you can actually, if this has copaiba, frankincense, and either Siberian fir, lavender, or chamomile, you can actually just roll a little bit on your finger, massage it in, okay? Because they're all ingestible, and the coconut oil is, of course, as well. Immune support for new babies, breast milk is super incredible for that alone, but another oil which I absolutely love and adore is arbor vitae. This is known as the baby on guard. It's super gentle. Like I mentioned last week in Q&A Fridays, I mentioned how there's so many different oils for so many different uses, right? And they have so many different uses, I mean. So yes, of course, On Guard is the immune support oil, but there's a lot of other oils that support the immune system that are a lot more gentle. Arbor vitae being one of them, frankincense is another one. Okay, so maybe you have a roller with, 3 drops or maybe 2 drops frankincense, 2 drops arbor vitae, and you put that on the bottoms of the baby's feet every night. Just a little, especially if you have toddlers around, okay? So that's it. That's all, you guys. That was a lot of information. If you have any questions, totally reach out. And again, I'm going to reiterate, talk to your healthcare provider. If any of these things don't make sense to you or don't feel good to you, don't do them, okay? These are just my personal suggestions from my own tried and true, like, literal life advice, okay? Hopefully that helps some new moms out there. I know it would have helped me so much 4 years ago. I absolutely love sharing these oils and these tools with people all over. So I hope you found value in that. Have an awesome day wherever you are, and take care. Bye.